Manifestation. Man up. Manifestation. Man up. Manifestation. Man up. Manifestation.
A place where we inform, build, and inspire.
Manifestation. Man up. Manifestation. Man up. Manifestation. Man up.
A place where we inform.
Manifestation.
A place where we inform, build, and inspire.
You gotta eat what you kill. You gotta go out there, you gotta hunt for your meals.
We all have that ability to connect with people, to be that motivational person in somebody's life.
You gotta let people know there's certain lines you don't cross and that there's gonna be consequences if you do.
Man up.
If you are an adult and you are in a relationship, that person's emotions are not your responsibility.
Man up. Manifestation. Man up. Manifestation. Man up. Manifestation.
A place where we inform, build, and inspire.
The devil, during slavery, destroyed the masculinity or manhood of the so-called Negro. No man. No man. Right now you got to be trained all over again to be a man.
When someone is obligated to do something, it is binding upon them to do it. And failure to do it causes reaction.
Man up.
Position make you rich. I don't have that type of richness. My richness is life forever.
If that people knew their glorious past, if that people knew their glorious past, if that people knew their glorious past, then they would be more inclined to respect themselves.
I'm not saying I'm going to rule the world or I'm going to change the world, but I guarantee that I will spark the brain that will change the world. And that's our job, is to spark somebody else watching us.
A place where we inform, build, and inspire.
Manifestation. Man up. Manifestation. Man up. Manifestation. Man up.
A place where we inform.
Manifestation.
A place where we inform, build, and inspire.
You want to tell me about yourself? Go get your friends. I'll tell you who you are based on who your friends are.
Don't just live and die. That's an ugly existence. Make your life matter, make your life count. Live a life where people can actually mourn you for the things you left behind, not just because you were around and existed.
We need strong black nuclear family.
Yes, yes.
That's what it is. Mother, father, son, daughter, all in the same house with a focus on the family unit as a whole.
We had Tulsa, Atlanta, New Jersey, Detroit. We had Rosewood. We had Black Wall Streets all over.
The Republicans aren't for us, but the Democrats aren't for us either. And we should have no alliance to any political party. We only have alliance to what is in our own best interest.
A place where we inform, build, and inspire.
Manifestation. Man up. Manifestation. Man up. Manifestation. Man up.
A place where we inform.
Manifestation.
A place where we inform, build, and inspire.
At the end of the day, as men in the community, we must stand together and be counted, because people look to us for guidance, leadership, and protection. And if we are not about that business, we are not on our job. Here we have grown-ass man conversations in the spirit of that purpose. Anthony Malcolm, Bobby Drake, Major Gage, we are. This is Manifestations 2020.
Manifestation. Man up. Manifestation.
A place where we inform, build, and inspire.
Yeah, what's up? What's cracking, fellas?
Yo.
What's hood? How's everything? This your boy Major Gage. I'm in the building. Okay, UM. I guess they did something this week. Shout out to the U. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to them. I'll give them honorable mention. They did a little something this week. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, definitely we get in their credit. I'm not a fan, but you know, I'm still from Miami, and so I low key, you know, I always kind of got, you know, a little love for the Miami teams, whatever the case may be. So shout out to them and all that's cool and all that old shit. You know what I'm saying? But you know, I am your host, Major Gage, and I got my mans in them with me, Anthony Malcolm and the prestigious Bobby Drake, and we are Manversations 2020. And as much as I'm rocking with the UM thing. It's significant. But if we really go talk about what's important, bang, bang, Niner gang, we lit. All right? We lit. We just knocked off the goddamn champions in their old house, West Coast in this bitch. Ah! Yeah. What? Oh, that's what I thought.
I'm glad you take great pride in knocking out a black quarterback. I'm glad
you're damn right. Put him on his ass.
Oh, that Bobby team, ain't it?
Put him on his ass and them thick ass eyebrows. Take your ass home, nigga. Let's go.
I thought you had like 3 teams. No?
Nah, this is my team. I have a backup team.
No, I'm talking about Bobby. I thought he was Bengals and Eagles.
You sleep. Get the boogers at your eyes. You sleep.
Bobby's a Bengals fan. You know what I'm saying? It's been a rough year for Bobby. You know what I'm saying? But it's all good. You know what I'm saying? We gonna keep it pushing. We out here. You know what I'm saying? So that's what it is. Sorry.
Hey, look, it's character building season. All right. The same way how Arcade had to go through the muck and the mire to get back to glory.
Yeah.
It builds the verse. It's a filtration process, baby.
I can't wait.
We see who's really here, who's not.
I think we'll see them in the Super Bowl the next time they go. We can beat them for a third time. So that's what it is. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the
Hey, may the best squad win.
Shout out to the Bengals, but we already knocked them out twice in the Super Bowl. So hey, man, hey, it's lit over here, dog. You know what I'm saying? We ain't playing. We knocked off the world champions in their house.
Salute to y'all, though. That's how you do it.
Anything's possible. That's what's up.
Bust the whole team in the lip. I respect that.
That's what it is. We in the building. We lit. Let's go. All right. So let's go ahead and get it cracking. What's up, man? Y'all talk to us real quick before we jump into the content. It's a lot to get into today. Today's topic is all out misandry. And boy, like Bobby was saying before we warmed up, I could do a month-long series on this. There is so much misandry in the world right now, you know, in the lexicon, in the social lexicon. And for those who don't know, misandry is just the opposite of misogyny. People love to talk about misogyny so much, you know, and there is misogyny out there. There are some men that really do hate women. I will give y'all that. But there's also hatred towards men, and that is called misandry, and nobody ever talks about it. And it's just so thick, you could cut it with a knife right now. And so we felt this was necessary to address, and we're going to cut into it tonight. Y'all go ahead and talk to us real quick before we get into it. What you got?
I just want to give a shout out to this special lady. So, you know, shout out to the Jacksonville Jaguars for, you know, coming into the playoffs, even at a high seed, winning a lot of games this year. I think they did a phenomenal job of being cohesive. And shout out to the head coach with all that drama they had from the previous coaches to now having a stable coach that is really on point on what he does, and also there for the players and the system. So I wanted to say shout out to this lady, and she exudes so much wisdom when I heard it. But there was a post-conference interview with the head coach, and she was a reporter.
Yeah.
She has her own business, her own reporting media industry, media company and stuff like that. And she's been around for a minute. She's also part of the NABJ committee and organization. And her name is Lynn Turpin. So her name is Lynn Turpin.
Okay.
Lynn Jones Turpin. I had just put her post up on my page.
Yeah.
And man, the lady, she spoke. When I tell you she spoke, nothing but encouragement and wisdom into that head coach. You know, she was like, "Hey, you did a phenomenal job. Don't look at it like that." And you know, shout out to your players and everybody else, the whole organization. and you guys did a phenomenal job, and you represented Duval pretty much good this year. So get back to the lab and everything like that, and I wish you much more success in the future coming up. And just her speaking that when you have so many reporters that go into these places and tear down individuals or spark controversy and try to destroy locker rooms like what they tried to do with Shador Sanders, or a black woman to come in there. And this is why I love when black women are on their square and they're out here in their feminine energy. They're
extraordinary.
Yes, man, they really breathe life into everybody. You know what I'm saying? This is a white man, and she's sitting here talking to him as if, he's part of the community, he's part of the neighborhood. Don't worry about it. And encouraging him will encourage the rest of the team. And that's how you run the ball and keep the ball rolling with a bunch of confidence. And, a lot of men need confidence, and to have black women, especially just women in general, that's on that level, you guys breed confidence in men. Because it's so hard for men out here. We always are in battlefield, combating with each other and doing all these other things in competitive nature. So to hear somebody like that speak that type of encouragement and breathing life into him, man, shout out to that lady. And I had to give her flowers and posted her, man.
Shout out to that sister. Respect. I see it. You know what I'm saying? Love it. Love to see that. I didn't see it, but I see it by virtue of you, so appreciate you bringing that to our attention. Bobby Drake, what you got, man?
Oh, man, I'm just sitting here just basking in the glory of 2026, man.
Okay, that's what's up.
We out here working, man. We out here working, man.
Facts.
Always. So, again, don't like to harp on the idea of the New Year thing, but for a lot of people, it's significant. So whatever the fuel, whatever the momentum is, take that, toss in your fire, burn it for that energy, and get to it. The time is now. The old Chinese proverb goes, the best time to plant a tree was 50 years ago. The second best time is right now. So last I checked, ain't nobody got DeLorean. So we ain't going back 1 minute, let alone 50 years. But we got right damn now. So strike while the iron's hot. Go ahead, light your candles, and get to work. It ain't gonna work itself. Get to work, damn it. You got a job to do.
All facts, nothing but the truth. We lit in here, man. Let's talk about it, man. Very well said, man. I really, I've been telling people that too. Like, so many folks have been, since the economy's on the downturn, and people are getting laid off left and right. A lot of people are losing hope. A lot of people in a state of despair, and they need to hear that. So I really appreciate it. Let me reinforce it. People, get out there. The worst thing you can do is not take the shot at all. You know what I'm saying? If you take the shot and you miss it, and you don't get where you're trying to go or whatever the case may be, hey, that you can live with that. But if you never tried, you know what I'm saying? You never applied yourself, and you just sitting out here starving. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna cut different later.
Matter of fact, real quick, couple seconds. You knock some stuff loose right quick. To further tack on to what you said and what I was saying before, especially in these times of uncertainty where people losing jobs, people are realizing the jobs they have ain't cutting it, they need to earn more money, what have you, or they just need to make something shake. Let me just put this bee in somebody's bonnet right quick.
Yeah.
The number one thing that holds up a lot of people is uncertainty and hesitancy.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you right now, and I'm speaking to myself more than anybody else, so don't nobody else get anything about this. This is reinforcement for me. So my bad, I'm talking to myself. This is a self-talk thing right here. Do not worry about having every single duck lined up in a row. Do not worry about trying to get that 100% success rate on whatever it is you have planned out here. In real life, in the wild, you're almost never going to get that.
Facts.
In some cases, you're almost never going to even have a plus 80%, even a plus 70% success rate with what's going on. But more often than not, this is a life hack right here. It's not foolproof, but more often than not, the game rewards people that are committed. it's way better for you to go ahead and say, you know what, I've done the best I can with what I got so far. There's a lot of uncertainty, but screw it. We're going to squeeze the trigger. You will have success more often than not. Because what's going to happen is, and especially when there's new opportunities, whether it's AI, whether it's certifications, whether it's job skills, education, there's new opportunities that's open. Get in early, because what's going to happen is there's a lot of people. I know AI is definitely a place where you can see this going on. There's a lot of people that are trying to wait because they want the blueprint, they want the roadmap, they want the step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They're scared, whatever. The people that's going to make it big are the ones that charge first, and they made some mistakes, but they learned, and then they were able to pick up and take it back again. By the time you have everything you're looking for to act, the game's already been decided. I mean, you can still get some wiggle room, but the people that went ahead and took the risks, that were willing to sacrifice and take the L's, they're the ones that's at the top. And everybody else is following behind them afterwards. Take the risk. If you fail, so what?
Yeah, man. It is what it is. Look, I failed plenty times, and my failures were actually elevated to my success.
Exactly.
So I see it. And just real quick, man, good is not the enemy of great. You know what I'm saying? Good is called progress, nigga. You know what I'm saying? If you just get in and you good, at least you're making progress. Let's get into it, man. Let's get into it today.
Also apply that to relationships. Hey, I posted up the guy who was with Cam Newton, but he said, hey, I got it together with my wife. I didn't get it together by myself. So sometimes you can get where you need to get to with somebody. They get that counterbalance. That's very true. Let's get into it, man. I want to kick it off with this little roach right here. I mean, boy, this is the gift that keeps on giving, bro.
Clip that she said that she robbed and drugged men or whatever, that came out of the strip club or whatever. Well, it looked like people keep bringing that up to her, and today not today, but yesterday when she was on Spaces, when people brought it up to her, she answered it in a way maybe you'd be shocked that she answered it.
She's drug and rob. I'll rob niggas again. I don't give a fuck. And I'll rob them for real. And fuck niggas. I hate men. I don't give a fuck. I hate men and I don't give a fuck. I'll rob them motherfuckers. Dirty ass motherfuckers.
So, I mean, there's so much there in that short clip. You know what I'm saying? First of all, the audacity of Cardi B, of all people, to be calling somebody dirty is crazy to me. Like, you know what I'm saying? This little roach hood monkey calling somebody else dirty. Nigga. Really? Dude. And this is the thing, man. You know, you already got off. It's like, yo, you see people that manage to duck fate all the time. You know, her ass should be locked up right now because of those things that she did in her past. She's on camera admitting to drugging men, robbing them, and then taping them, right? With in sex acts where they're being taken advantage of by transsexuals. This is what she did that she's proud of. She's going back to and saying, hey, yeah, I did it. I'll do it again. This little roach, dude, and people love her. And what I say is this, at a certain point, allegedly, right? Allegedly. Of course, you know, we heard her say it, but we got to say allegedly. Okay, fine. It gets to the point with some people where you got to start looking at their fans. You got to start looking at their supporters. You understand what I'm saying? Because this woman is one of the most toxic people on earth. And I'm glad she just finally came the fuck out and said it. I hate men. It shows, she wears it on her sleeve. It's almost carved in her forehead in big red letters. I hate men. But I'm glad she just came out and said it. Because now, all the women who follow her and who exalt her and who look to her as a role model, some of these bird brains in their damn 40s and 50s that we see on our thread quoting Cardi B lyrics online every day because she's that important. What she has to say is that important. You understand? Now, you see who they are. You understand? Like I've been when that clip first came out and I saw women still supporting her, I'm like, okay, I know who you are. But now she's doubling down on it. And she's talking about this in the context of, okay, she was talking about what's going on with her old ain't shit nigga and her new ain't shit nigga, right? So somehow that's men's fault. Not the men that your little musty ass was able to attract. Not the men that, you know, you were good enough for when other quality, decent men wouldn't piss on you if you was on fire. Not those men. No, men in general ain't shit because you keep picking garbage ass men because that's all you qualify for, because that's what you are. You understand? We have to be very mindful of these types of women for the simple fact that they are so influential and they're everywhere, you know, and they're influencing your daughters, yes, but not just your daughters. They're influencing your wives, your cousins, your nieces, your homegirls. These women, I'm telling you, I've seen it myself. We've seen it. Grown ass women run around talking about they gotta find some kind of way to get some Cardi B tickets, posting her toxic, despicable ass lyrics online. Like that's a flex, like that's some fly shit to do. Very immature, very, very hateful, very misandrous, and right on topic with what we're discussing today. What y'all say about that, man? Talk to me.
When it comes to Cardi B, I told y'all about that last time we talked about it. It's like Cardi B is just somebody that just keeps coming up in every week of topics. That's how much of a degenerate she is.
Yeah.
People got to understand that who you gravitate to and who you idolize as a role model says a lot about your characters. It's one of the things that you hear when you hear the start of our intro. And I told you about something that my dad always told me, was show me your friends and I'll tell you who you are. That also applies to your role models. That applies to your mentors and everything like that. Remember, some of these hardcore drug dealers and hardcore pimps and hardcore criminals, a lot of their mentors and the people they looked up to were degenerates, you know, and that's where they got they felt like, I want to be like that person, you know. So when you look at their whole niche of what they got going on, you start to see that you're following the path of a destructive path, and you're following and going down that path, even though subconsciously you don't realize what you're going, because people don't understand that when you make something such a norm, you subconsciously are sucked into it, and then you realize it when somebody else points it out, because now it becomes firsthand nature to you. You know what I'm saying? So Cardi B is just a degenerate. That's what it is. You know what I see? I think it was more of a bigger plot when she did that. I think she used transgender individuals. Allegedly, that's what they said, transgender individuals, because I felt like that was her safety net, her guard for not getting in trouble. Because it's one thing about men is pride and the perception of the public. And I think that when she used transgender dudes to do that, a lot of those guys ain't gonna come forward because they're gonna feel humiliated. Right. Even though they're trying to get justice, it's like, shit, okay, you're getting justice, but damn, dog, you got rammed up by it. You know, some of these guys might be in relationships. They might have been in relationships at that time. And some of them, you know, got put in between a rock and a hard place. Like, you want to come forward, but then you'll reveal that you was out here doing some janky shit. Not saying that they doing it, but I'm just saying that might be an issue why they never came forward. Because to me, if somebody got that much money and they're bragging about what they did to me, it's one of the easiest ways for you to get a bag of justice, because they could pay you out without going to court because they know what they did was wrong. So the only reason I think that they didn't come forward is because of the humiliation part. And a lot of men suffer from that. So, you know, to see this woman bragging like that and getting away from that, Yo, that says a lot, man. And I really pray that a lot of y'all women realize what's going on. But then again, last time I did that, y'all say, leave them there so we know who these hoes is.
Yeah. I mean, it is. I get you. You know, I pray for him too, low key. But, you know, it is helpful to know who's who. You know what I'm saying? Because unfortunately, a lot of the women that are every bit as toxic and as hateful as she is are the ones that are out here pretending that they're down. You understand what I'm saying? The ones that are out here pretending that, you know, they want to help people, and you know they want to slide into your little circles. They want to slither into your circles and come around you. And at the end of the day, I look at who your role models are, and I know just how fucked up you are. You know what I'm saying? So we do need to keep those people away from us. Unfortunately, I pray for everybody. Because redemption is possible for anybody. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say on top of that, it's funny because a lot of these women that I'm watching that are supporting Cardi B is the same women that were sitting there getting on men about listening to R. Kelly. Kelly.
Yep.
So they were saying, if you listen to R. Kelly, you support R. Kelly. So you're supporting Cardi B knowing that she do this degenerate shit. That's crazy to me. And women have this it's a hypocrite thing that goes on with women that is so crazy to me. Yeah. But I'll land my plane, man.
No, they so full of shit. Go ahead, Bobby Drake. What you got?
Bell Kellys, Spell Kellys, Spell Kellys.
Her musty ass.
Oh, if she isn't the perpetual turd in the ring box.
Facts.
Damn. You know, she just is a perpetual, not just a hypocrite, but she is the epitome of a self-serving entity. She doesn't care about anyone or anything but herself. And she's the kind of person, exactly for that same reason, that you can't put stock in someone, that you can't look to someone like that as someone to follow or give a cosign to, because following people like that will lead you straight up to hell. There's no positive end result that comes from gravitating towards people like that. When you see people like that, what's supposed to happen now? This is if you're a moral person. If you're not a moral person, if you're a degenerate, then you know you're in the same boat as her. So of course it makes sense that you're gonna rep your squad, you'll rep your set. It makes perfect sense. So this isn't for those people, but for the people who are on the fence or who are a little bit, you know, they're not too sure. If you consider yourself to be a moral person, when you witness people like this at work, you're supposed to give them a wide berth. You're supposed to stand way the hell back because you don't want to be anywhere near those types.
Right.
And it's of the utmost hypocrisy where, like Ant pointed out, you're able to look at a degenerate like a Robert Kelly and say, hey, if you listen to his music, especially knowing the subject matter of some of his songs, then you're a co-conspirator, you're in bed with him, which is true. That's absolutely on point.
Okay.
But that damns you when you have a Belcalis Almanzar here who's on that same kind of bullshit, victimizing people, but you co-sign them, you listen to their music, you go ahead and you all in with that kind of lifestyle and that kind of mannerism. There's no difference between listening to, if that's the standard, if you're listening and you're supporting your defense and advocacy for a person means that you're in bed with them when it comes to their discrepancies, then that goes both ways. It doesn't magically become true when it's the male ones that we don't like, or when it's the female ones that we like, all of a sudden, oh, now you're doing too much.
Yeah, but that's what they think.
That is the epitome. If you crack open the Merriam-Webster, if you flip open the Oxford, if you look at the Wikipedia, if you holler at ChatGPT or AI, that is the textbook definition of hypocrisy. And you cannot possibly be an upright moral person if that's what you co-sign. But again, that's for the people that's about morality, because if you're an immoral person, then none of what I'm saying is going to make any sense to you. I may as well be speaking in dog to you. Arf, arf, woof, woof, woof. You ain't going to comprehend that. So
that's the issue, though. A lot of these people are immoral people. You hit on it. You hit it right there.
And she said as much. Because we're talking about being caught in a bald head lie. She said when it was first brought up for that interview, when she first started getting some flack because of that, talking about how she goes ahead and she victimizes these dudes, she gets them sexually assaulted, she drugs them, robs them, and then gets them sexually assaulted so they really can't come after her later on. She initially tried to do the whole PR stunt thing and was like, I've never glorified that in my music, and I've talked about what I've done, but I've never brought it up. Whether or not they were poor choices, that's another thing. Whether or not, so you don't think drugging somebody and robbing them and that's whether or not there's a question about that. Again, that's a tell right there for the moral person.
Exactly.
Well, if I sexually assaulted this person, or if I fondled the child, these things shouldn't be up in the air. Like, depending how you feel about it. But she said, whether or not they were a poor choice at the time, I did what I had to do to survive. That's the first step. I never glorified the things that I brought up. I'm not proud of those things. I feel a responsibility not to glorify it. But then later on, here we are recently. How time works. Now all of a sudden it's cardi drug, whatever. So what? I'll do it again, bitch. I don't feel bad. I don't feel bad for no nigga.
Right.
I'll do it again. I'll talk about it in my album too. I don't give.
I hope they throw her ass in jail. I hope somebody does come out and testify. They throw her ass in jail where she belongs.
The beautiful thing about her, though, and this is the beautiful thing about her and people like her is, and the funny thing is, her downfall is going to be in part because of her support base. Because when you're allowed to get big ass head like that, so swollen as my mother would say, when you can roll a barrel between your legs, that's how wide you're walking. When you get to that point, what's going to happen is you're going to try the right one.
Yep. And I'm
because
shocked.
She sees opportunity. She goes at it with dudes. She goes at it with women. She is just a violent, combative, aggressive harlot. And the thing is, when you're like that, equal opportunity, you're gonna eventually let that get to your head. You're gonna mess with the right one, and that's what's gonna be ultimately your downfall. So, I'm not a person that wishes or prays for people's downfall, but I'm a person who always prays for justice. That's always I always pray for justice. So because I know that she's an unjust person, I know that by praying for justice to be served, eventually I know for a fact she's going to get hers, and it's going to be delicious. It's going to be Popeyes, Bojangles, buttermilk biscuit, finger licking good when it happens too.
Facts. And it's long overdue. I cannot wait for this piece of shit and her 15 minutes of fame to be up, dude. I'm so sick of her. Like, she is destroying an entire generation of young women and further corrupting some of these grown women. People act like it's only kids that are impacted by this degeneracy and this music and this media and this reality TV. There are grown women, very weak-minded, that get out here and act just like this little hood monkey every day. Every day. You know what I'm saying? And so, like I said, the audacity of her to call somebody else dirty, as despicable and disgusting as she is, God damn, it's wild.
No, I was gonna say Galatians 6-7 in the Bible. Do not be deceived. God is not mocked, for whatever one sows, that one will also reap. So it's saying you cannot get away with bad behavior or expect good results from poor choices. God hold people accountable for their actions. I say that because all these rappers, they go up on the podium when they win the award, and what's the first thing they say?
They thank God.
Praise to God.
They're so full of shit.
But you're not in alignment as that. You're not carrying yourself or conducting yourself as a person that's walking in the light of God. And if you did something in your past, you're supposed to do everything that doubles that to try to erase the negative. So if you do one negative thing, you're supposed to do at least 2, 3, or 4 positive things to erase that one negative thing. But for you to sit back and get the blessings of, income and things like that, and then you later on double down on the shit you did in the past, fuck out of here, my dude.
Yeah.
To tack on to what you said too, because that's a very real. That's the truth. That's the hypocrisy. They'll do that. They'll go ahead and rock the Jesus pieces and all the other stuff. They'll get the tattoos all on them and everything else, but it doesn't line up with what's being said. And when they try to give that honor to God, here's the funny thing, and I can't remember the scripture. I know, but I can't remember the scripture off the top of my head. But it actually says in scripture, do not go and give God offerings. In so many words, don't go and give God offerings and you know that you're out and not in good standing with your brother, because God will not accept it.
Facts.
He don't want your stank behind offering when you know that
And
you're out of line. He says, go there. It actually says, go place your, it actually says there, place your offering on the ground, so to speak. Go and make it right with your brother. Then you can give your offering. So if you out here talking about, I want to thank God for all this, know that nothing's possible, but you know that you've been doing foul, that there's people out there that have a legitimate issue with you because of what you've done, you might as well just be yawning at God. God ain't here. That don't do nothing but try to make you look good, and it's further damning you because you recognize that there's someone that you're accountable to, but you're not living up to that, and you're trying to go out here and make yourself look good or look better.
Yep. This is where we are, though, man. We got a bunch of degenerates being platformed. You know what I'm saying? And it's really taking its toll on society. Speaking of degenerates,
most men in general are intimidated by women that are above average and know that they're above average.
I just want to take that one piece out of that clip because it's a long clip. And for some of that clip, he's actually saying some very true things. But like our good brother Anthony Malcolm likes to tell us about the bullshit burrito. You understand what I'm saying? And this man is an iron chef when it comes to making a bullshit burrito. He talked about all type of shit that some men have, and some men have their shortcomings, whatever the case may be. But the problem with this clown, I'm gonna play it one more time just so that you don't miss it. He loves to paint with a broad brush. Most men, where the fuck is he getting this goddamn statistic from? Most men, how does he quantify that? You understand what I'm saying? Most men are intimidated by women who know their worth. Based on what says who, Derek? You understand? And mind you, they came in to find out that Derek Jackson was a total fraud by what he was doing with his own woman. He was the type of dude that he's describing in his videos. His sorry ass was that very type of dude. One more time.
Most men in general are intimidated by women that are above average and know that they're above average.
Total bullshit. Total bullshit. Most men are intimidated by women, and they love weak-minded, dumbass women love to hear goofy shit like that because it gives them the wherewithal to not have to look at themselves and whatever shortcomings they may have. I will be the first to say, sure, there are some men out here that have shortcomings, and there's some men out here that are intimidated by women. But what he just said encompasses most men. If you're going to say most men to women, you might as well say all men. You understand what I'm saying? Are intimidated by a woman that knows that she's above average. Why would we be intimidated by that woman, Derek? He gives no logical rationale for anything. He just opens his mouth and just starts flapping his dick suckers, and he just can't stop. You understand what I'm saying? And these type of people, we need to stop paying attention to, ladies. Because when I look at Derek Jackson's Instagram and Derek Jackson's Twitter, his following is still in the millions. And this is part and parcel of why women are not having success in relationships. Women specifically, because men don't really follow Derek Jackson unless you're gay. No solid brother follows Derek Jackson because they know that he's a con man. And ladies, even if you didn't know before, you should know now. He's been proven to be a con man. You still got your dumb ass up there listening to every word he say, hoping for a chance to get a date with him. You can't fix stupid on that level. And I just got to put it out there. We not going to save everybody. You know what I'm saying? Some people you just got to leave behind because they're so confident in their ignorance that it's just such a state of bliss for them that they don't want to learn anything. They don't want to evolve. That's why they listen to charlatans like Derek Jackson. Go ahead, click on him real quick. I don't want to go too much into this one, but a few words on him, and then I'm gonna go into some people that I really gotta get on. Go ahead.
Yeah, I don't really mess with Derrick Jackson like that. And one of the biggest things, like I say, the biggest thing that I have an issue with women is the fact that y'all are the biggest hypocrites. The biggest hypocrites.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm talking about the mass majority. There are women out there that understand that, and they're not hypocrites. They are honest and they're on the straight line. But on the mass majority, a lot of y'all women are hypocrites. Because one thing that I noticed is that y'all sit there and don't condone cheaters. And this man cheated on his wife. That automatically should have X'd that man out. If you are a person that leads on dignity and leads in that direction, then you should not be affiliated with Derrick Jackson. He should have been crossed off your list off rip. You know what I'm saying? And another thing that I despise is a lot of y'all women complain about being sexualized, being in videos and men sitting there having you half naked and all of this stuff and exploiting you. But y'all do the same exploiting when it benefits you financially. That shit is crazy. If you're going to complain about being men exploiting you, then why is it justified for you to exploit yourself to garnish money, financial means from men? That don't make no sense. You're switching around the pimp. You're muted.
Agreed. That's a different show though, but I agree. But yeah, bring it back.
No, I'm just saying that I just wanted to say that, when it comes to Derrick Jackson, I really don't have no words for him because he should have been out of the picture a long time ago. And I'll just land my plane on that.
Agree, Bobby Drake. Real quick, what you got?
I'm at the point now where I can't see this dude's face and not burst out laughing. He has become the greatest joke, the greatest punchline in comedic history. You can almost say, it's almost to the point where you say his name and gets the same reaction out of me. But as soon as I see that face, my face is going to break. I'm dying laughing. If I was to ever get chased by Michael Myers or some Hollywood killer, and I'm hiding in the basement looking for me, all they got to do is just put up a picture of Derrick Jackson on all the screens. And if I see it, hopefully I'll make it to the sequel. That's it. I'm done. But like you said, it's disgusting. I checked his Facebook, and the fool has 4.4 million followers still.
Yeah.
His IG, his Instagram, he has 1.7 million followers. Of the sheer audacity of this guy. He actually has as his little headline on his Instagram, empathy. Again.
Yeah.
This man is the king of one-liner jokes. He's amazing. He needs to go on tour for comedy. Empathy. Accountability.
Look at him.
Emotional intelligence. Are you, bruh?
Look at him. There he is right there.
Happily taken.
Yeah.
And look at that. School.com. So this man is still pandering and selling you bullshit.
Selling, and mind you, between the whole issue with his ex-wife to now, there has been no drop off. There's not even been, because let me be abundantly clear. I am someone who believes in redemption.
Yeah.
I believe that even the most reprobate of people, in most cases, can be saved. They can be salvaged if they're willing to do the work, put in the time, sweat it out, grind it out. They can go ahead and salvage what's made of this house. Now, if they're able to do it to a point where they're actually able to have benefits outside of just, the personal checklist, that remains to be seen. But redemption, I don't believe, as long as you're alive, I believe that redemption is within your grasp.
Right. No
but
doubt.
There has been no drop off whatsoever between him and his nonsense with his ex-wife.
None.
And now, where he's took a step back, where he acknowledged what he did was wrong, he called him. He showed empathy to his ex-wife, where he took accountability for himself.
It's all nonsense.
Demonstrated emotional intelligence. Said, "Look, I'm sorry for what I did. This was wrong. I need to take some time out so I can get some healing for myself. Thank you all for the people who supported me. I'm gonna go ahead and do the work to get myself to where I need to be. None of that.
This guy's
This
a
boy
goddamn.
was still out here flipping bullshit flapjacks about his content and everything else, while his wife was losing her everlasting mind.
Yeah.
And women are still gravitating to this.
1.7 million of them right here in front of you, and like you say, another few million on Facebook. And at the end of the day, man, this is the problem. When we say that women right now, women are the problem, when you look at these numbers of people following this jackass, that right there should tell you everything that you need to know. By the way, Bobby, that's your homegirl right there, Phoenix 711. That's London Black.
Oh,
that's London Black. So FYI, we just gonna leave it right there. We're gonna leave it right there. Okay.
And I gotta have her back this one time. She gets one out of me this month, so she better say thank you. Yes, she's there, but I also got somebody else there as well too. A Major Gauge Beats. Her name sounds familiar. I don't know who that is.
No, rest assured, I follow him so I can light his ass up, and I see the dumb shit that he posts, but that ain't
you're not breaking bread on his content,
nigga.
You're not a member. Wait, hold on. I know you're a member of the Self-Crowned Inner Circle.
Yeah. Of course I do. That's what I remember. But yeah, this guy's.
I think the thing is that a lot of women won't give him up because of his looks. I think he also gets the benefit from his looks of why women still go. If he was a fat nigga like Nietzsche Money, oh yeah, he would have been out of there a long time ago.
He's a double threat. He feeds their flesh. He feeds their lust. He looks like what they lust over. So there's the eye candy, and then on top of that, he's flipped that and used that to his advantage. And he also gives them bullshit burritos. He also feeds them a whole bunch of empty calorie nonsense in their ears. So he's messing up with their brains and with their eyes.
But
so of course I want to hear what they want to hear from something that looks good. Derek Jackson, let's be honest, and I'll give him his props to that. Derek Jackson is the ultimate fantasy for an unaccountable woman. This is your dream boat, your Hollywood hunk right here. This is your sex symbol right here, and he's telling you all the nonsense that you want to hear. Baby girl, I just want to tell you. With the Boyz II Men playing in the background, baby girl, I just want to tell you it's not your fault.
Yeah.
It's all that no good nigga.
Nothing.
You should never play games with your heart. You knew damn well you weren't trapping him.
Yeah.
You just wanted to be his everything. That's all.
Yeah,
all kind of nonsense. And I'll be honest, I can understand what the appeal is. It takes a strong woman to see and hear that and to break free of that, because why wouldn't you want to hear that it's not you when you're going through your roughest down times? It's hard to do that.
Because you're an adult. Because you're an adult. And I get so tired of these women acting like fucking children and blaming everybody else for this shit. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, dude, at some point, you just gotta take their face off, man. Shut that bullshit up.
If you're gonna be an adult, you have to look. The reality is, for men and women alike, as long as you are alive, problems are the price you pay for living.
True.
That's just what it is. If I had an old pastor that used to say, you've either been through it or you're going through it, and if you're not one of those two, just be patient. You're about to go through it.
Oh, it's coming.
Problems are the price you pay for existence. If you want a problem-free life, then you need to go 6 feet under.
Right.
So that means you need to get comfortable with embracing discomfort and learning lessons, because the key is to not go through a problem-free life. The key is to make sure that whatever suffering you go through, you only got to do it one time.
Yeah, all facts.
That's the key. I just want to, if I got to suffer, I know I got to suffer. My goal is I want to suffer only one time. I want to get it out of the way, move on to the next obstacle. I don't want to be stuck here on the 8th, 9th, 15th attempt like an idiot.
Yeah, facts. Well, I can't talk about that ass clown without talking about this ass clown, because I actually believe that she's more dangerous than Derek Jackson. She's in the same vein as Derek Jackson, but she's more dangerous because, I believe that people take her more seriously. There is no, I'm so attracted to her or whatever. She's a funny looking ass lady. Her face looks like it's made of plastic or some shit, and she looked like the Jigsaw Killer. But check this lady out, man. Look at.
Care what anybody says. I don't care what you need, what you want. If you want a good life and a good marriage and a good relationship, he has to love you more. I don't care. That's just how it has to be. If you're on a date and they're looking at another woman, look at cars. Because a man can be cute and broke and he knows you ain't going nowhere. But looking at cars is totally different. Oh my God, look, there's a Bentley. I wonder who's driving that. That way he sees. You're not looking at looks, you're looking at money. You know how they try to trick you. They say, oh, cheaters never win and losers never prosper. And cheaters never prosper and don't lie. And karma. Everyone who is anyone that has something is a liar, a manipulator, a cheater, or whatever you want to call them. Okay. All the timid people who don't have much, they're the ones that are so honest and so humble and so this and so that. So that's why they are in the position that they're in, because they can't make it in this real world, okay, by telling the truth all the time. If you want a woman to bring something to the table, go to IHOP, go to the restaurant where you can tip her, baby. Sprinkle. Because if I bring something to the table, you're going to be mad because it's going to be another man who's going to not ask me to bring something to the table. He's going to take care of the bill, them kids, and everybody else, and you if you look broke. He don't love you, and you are single until you are married. Okay. But most Black women are overweight or obese. Well, you know why? Because you can't afford a gym membership for them. And they would rather eat than be with a broke man. They would rather sit down and prepare a meal for their kids and their family and eat and get fat because y'all aren't worth being skinny for. What we gonna be looking good and snatched for? To go get some coffee? What do we have to be skinny for? Y'all ain't taking us nowhere where we got to fit into something to look extra good. Y'all ain't taking us to no fundraisers. We ain't going to no gala. Y'all ain't getting no private jets to jet us off. Y'all ain't surprising us with plane tickets nowhere where we got to be snatched. Y'all trying to take us to Applebee's into your mama house. Lazy gold diggers. Thank you. That is a compliment. Like, who wants to be a hard worker that doesn't get any money from their man? Like, who want to be that? Call me a lazy gold digger any day. And you ain't going to call me broke.
So this despicable piece of shit, Shira 7. Okay, like I don't know if there's anybody on the internet that's more despicable than her. Bruh, she's in the top 3. Outside of the white supremacists, there's her. She's in every top 3 outside of white supremacists. And I'm not even sure that she doesn't surpass the white supremacists, because the white supremacists,
top
you see
3,
them coming.
And damn sure ain't 3.
Facts. You see them coming. This one, she's Black. So, a lot of Black people, we so goofy. We'll listen to anybody. We'll sit down and give anybody the benefit of the doubt as long as they Black. This woman is clearly an enemy of Black society. And she is going out of her way at every juncture to make up some goofy, dumbass excuse why Black women don't have to be accountable for anything. And it's the man's fault literally all the time. Why we gonna get in shape? Y'all ain't taking us to no fundraisers. Y'all ain't taking us to no banquets. All y'all want to take us is the Applebee's in your mama house.
Right. Because cancer, diabetes, gout, glaucoma, heart disease, hypertension, high blood pressure, insert all the other top causes of mortality, most of which are related to sedentary living and diet practice. No, you're right. No, that's because you living longer and having a better quality of life, that benefits men. That doesn't benefit you.
Right. And it's like, bruh, are you listening to the toxic shit that this woman is saying? And women flock to her page like it's the last weave store in the hood. You dig? Like, it's like that. I'm like, damn, bruh, like y'all down bad like this? But unfortunately, we have a lot of women out here, that they're so weak-minded and so hurt. And that's a very bad combination because it creates a leadership vacuum. You never really had proper leadership or guidance in your life. And, you're hurt because of a lot of your past traumas, a lot of them having to do with men. And, you find solace in listening to a moron like this talk nonsense all day. You know what I'm saying? That's your thing. Like it makes you feel good inside. It creates. It's very much like white supremacy, if we're being totally honest, because it creates this little hate group, this little enclave, this internet enclave of these batshit crazy, deeply hurt maniacs. You dig? And it lets them, it creates community for them. You know what I mean? And so this is, you go in there. Realistically, man, if you want to make some quick money, go online right now, go on TikTok and create a page that just bashes men. I guarantee you will eat, because there's an appetite for that now. That's why I'm doing this show. You got all these morons. They get out here and they put this toxic shit out into the universe, and people just love it. They're just eating it up. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know if y'all have ever seen her before, but like, she gets on her page. She does this all day. She has thousands of videos talking this same goofy ass nonsense. And again, I said last week, it's a great time to find a wife, fellas, because the hoes are outside. She's not quiet or ashamed anymore. 20 years ago, she would have came out with that bullshit and women would have tore her ass up. Women. Maybe 25. Women would have came out and tore her ass up. The fuck you talking about? Coming out here making us look like this. They would have lit her ass up. Mm-hmm. Now, because of reality TV and songs by Cardi B, Meg Thee Stallion, goddamn Lizzo. Well, not Lizzo. Well, yeah, Lizzo too. Her behavior more so than her songs, but Lotto and other I'm a Hoe rappers, you understand what I'm saying, have just poisoned their mind on a daily basis. So now it's like, man, fuck it. And they're all just getting their digs in, man. And it creates this toxic environment where men and women can't communicate no more. Understand, there was no gender war until men started pushing back against these toxic narratives that females were putting out about us. A lot of what you see, I can't say most, some of it is real toxicity coming from some of these dudes. But a lot of what you see that they call toxicity from dudes is really just us pushing back against negative narratives that females have created attacking us. You know what I'm saying? What do y'all think about that? Talk to me, man. Talk to me.
Man, it's so many of these women out here, and the common denominator that I'm seeing, and I wrote this on somebody's post because it was another girl. It was a couple white women that was shouting out some things about men. And I'm not gonna do this, and I'm not gonna do that, and no other man is gonna ever do this to me. And I said, ma'am, I wrote right under her status, ma'am, the only thing that this post does is let other men know that you aren't taking the time to look in that mirror to see that you are the problem. Because if I see you rambling like this, that means you don't know how to vet or attract a healthy man in your life. That means you're running into the same type of dudes. You are the problem. That lady ain't respond back to that because the truth hurts. At the end of the day, when you see all of these women, when you look at all of the women that's complaining, it's always these women that are low tier women. They're not top tier women. The top tier women are out here in lovable situations. The Simone Biles, who's out here making, getting over 30 medals. This is a top tier woman. And this woman went to the Bears game to support her man and had her man on her jacket. And this woman makes more money than her man.
I love
this
that.
woman
I love
has more resources than her man, and she still is in her feminine bag. And it's so crazy because women always talk about how, you make more. Like I seen a clip with Dr. Chabrant, the Dr. Phony Chabrant, when she talked about she can't date no man making $50,000, and the host was a guy and a girl, and they were laughing like, what? You can't date a man? No, it's not because of the money and value. It's because of my lifestyle and this and that. And it would, man, that is all bullshit. You got women out here that's making way more money that ain't even thinking about that. When you look at Taylor Swift makes Kelsey's money look like chump change, like it's in a piggy bank. And you don't hear none of that argument from her or the white society. Right. Yet we have our black society just sitting here talking this nonsense babble in our ears. So I hate that the fact that we have women out here that gravitate and listen to those type of women, because some of those women that are listening to those type of women are women. Sometimes everybody's not strong-minded. It's not head-on strong. And a lot of women like to follow people. You know, that's why women love to follow men. That's why they always talk about men lead. Women like to gravitate to things and follow because they're not natural leaders in the sense. So they have to gravitate to something and follow it. But I wish that a lot of women had more examples to realize, like, this is leading me down the pits of hell, and I don't need to be going in that direction. I need to be following healthy women that's giving thorough advice out here. And those women aren't elevated to a platform that's loud enough than these pigeons. And like I said before, and I thought Major brought up a great point, and I've also brought it up on public platforms. Give me a list of women besides, what's her name? Oh gosh, now I have Michelle Obama. Besides Michelle Obama, besides what's the other, the black president chick, Kamala Harris.
Okay.
Besides what's the other one? The little girl who be neck turning in the Congress, right? What's her name? Jasmine Crockett, right? All right. So I said, I even gave them 3 of the worst examples of women that they think is out there that is supposed to be prestige. I said, take away those 3, right? Because I know those are going to be your go-tos. Give me a list of women that women are supposed to follow. And nobody can come up with a list. That in itself should tell you there's a damn problem out here. And I land my plane on that, man.
No, that's all facts, man. And you know, once you get that, you on the road to success. Bobby Drake, what you got, man? What you got? Talk to me, man.
You know, Shira 7 is a name that, unfortunately, like cancer and vomit and diarrhea and stock market crash and plummet, that I've come accustomed to just, you know, having a ick reaction to. But the funny thing is, I've never, or at least I can't recall, ever actually seeing her face. I've heard about it, or even heard some of her clips. I've never seen her face, and of course, I've heard that infamous ear infection quote of hers: "Sprinkle, sprinkle." Heard that. Never actually seen what she looks like,
dude.
Now actually being able to pair a face with a voice and with the content, I can say it fits. You look exactly like the nonsense that you spew. I personally would have been a little upset. I'm not gonna lie to you. I would have been a little bit upset. I'm a human. I'm a man. I would have personally been a little hurt, a little crushed, if she actually looked like something and was talking that nonsense. Like,
facts.
Oh man.
That's another thing. Well, real quick, I know you speaking. I hate to interrupt you, dog.
Go,
I gotta expand on that. I gotta expand on that.
I run a joint kitchen. I like
there
that.
You go. I gotta do this, man. I gotta do this because you mentioned looks. You talk about a woman who looks like this motherfucker right here. You know what I'm saying? Like, have you ever seen? People don't understand. You talking about a motherfucker that look like the goddamn Jigsaw killer puppet. She look like this when she talk. Like her lips don't. Only her lips move. The rest of her face is like still. It's like she put tomato paste on that shit or something. I don't know.
I want to play a sprinkle.
Play a game. Yo, this woman is insane. Y'all ladies really out here following a woman who looks like this?
The hairline ain't much different either, if we're being honest.
The hairline ain't much different either. I mean, her face doesn't move. You know, and she got a couple pictures where, like, you know, she's all covered up. I'm convinced she's bad body because she's always all covered up and shit. She don't look like nothing. So, I mean, if y'all gonna follow a chick and, you know, just follow her blindly and recite dumbass talking points, at least let it be a chick who look like something, who can prove that she has something, because this lady ain't never really proven to nobody that she got anything. So it's like, bruh, and she's talking all this smack. And real quick, one more thing, because I'm going to start doing this more often, because people really don't seem to get it until you bring it home, man. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, she does whatever, she is whatever, but this shit don't make no damn sense, bruh. This makes no sense. And this is only on one platform. This is only on Instagram. Why does this woman have 1 million followers? How about London Black is one of her followers too?
The audacity to have a site called Dust Free.
Yeah.
Yeah, who else used to say dust free?
Cynthia G.
That should tell you right there.
Yeah. And
all the swine, all the pigs, all the hogs feeding out of the same trough.
This makes no sense, guys. Facts.
I just have a couple things to say in closing, because you definitely put on a lot of what I was going to say.
Yeah.
And again, because this advice is targeted to the women folk, but this equally fits the men as well too. Here's the thing.
It does.
I'm not going to knock the concept of being a follower, because leadership and following is one of those dynamics in life that is always perpetually revolving. There's no fixed roles where that's concerned. You can be a leader, and you should be a leader. But there are many leaders, most leaders, in fact, I think the best leaders, even, I'll even go that far with it. The best leaders also follow somebody else. The best leaders have mentors.
Yeah.
People that they listen to, they get guidance and game from. And their mentors have mentors. In some cases, even like a circular type thing, where you have one person whose mentor gets mentored by the person that they mentor. Because that's what happens. Because nothing happens in a vacuum. We are all experts. We all have expertise. We all have insight. If we're halfway intelligent,
no doubt,
and we're observant, if we live life and we learn from our experiences, we all have something that we can impart to other people. I'm a mentor to a lot of other people, knowingly and unknowingly. There's a number of people that I look to as mentors as well.
Yeah.
So that's always going to be a thing. But it's very important that when you seek mentorship, if there's people out there who you're going to be giving your ear time to, hear me. This is important. This is a game that's going to take you through 2026 and beyond. As long as God gives you breath, this is going to carry you the rest of your life. So this is a gem that you need to take. You need to put in your infinity gauntlet. You need to keep that in there.
Yeah.
It is of the utmost importance that whoever it is that you're getting good game from, I don't mean they have something good to say at the broken clock moment, but I'm talking about you're tuning into this person like it's the weather, like it's the radio.
Right. Go ahead.
It's important that you don't give that ear time and that consistency and that loyalty to anybody who is not only doing better than you, but who's not where you desire to be. The same way how you would look at me crazy if I told you you need to get your financial insight from a person who lives under the bridge. The same way how you look at me like I grew 3 heads if I told you that. That's the way you need to be when it comes to certain people like this. Because if that was the case, no woman will be listening to a Shearer 7.
Right.
No woman will be listening to a Derek Jackson. Damn sure no dude will be listening to Derek Jackson. There's a reason why the lion's share of followers that Derek Jackson has are women and not men.
Yeah.
It's not that he has 4 million followers and 2 million of them are women and 2 million of them are men. No, that is a grossly lopsided number towards the women.
Yeah.
Why aren't the men gravitating towards Derek Jackson? Because not like dudes don't gravitate to goofy dudes. There's a number of dudes that gravitate to dudes in these weirdo red pill manosphere podcasts.
True.
And influencers. So that can't be the issue. Why is it that dudes aren't gravitating towards Derek Waxman, even if he's saying some stupid stuff? It's because he is not in a place that they desire to be.
There you go.
So women, if you listen to Shearer 7, you need to take stock, and not just her, but everybody, and say, okay, I'm listening to this woman, and especially if I'm listening for a specific outcome.
Mm-hmm.
Is this woman where I desire to be? Is she doing better than me?
Yeah.
Is she where I desire to be?
Mm-hmm.
And if the answer is nah, then you need to go ahead and divorce yourself with that person. And furthermore, some deeper introspective homework, you need to question, what is that led me to follow this person to begin with?
Yeah.
Because that's the root source. If you can answer that question and unlock that,
Uh-huh.
you solve all the other issues. That will guarantee that you don't gravitate to any other failures like this in the future.
Facts. I'm gonna ask London, in fairness to London, right? Because London, I think, is a friend of the show. In fairness to London, just because you follow said Bird Brain doesn't mean that you support what she talks about. So I'm gonna ask London, why is it that I tuned into these two very toxic women, or these two very toxic misandrists, and you're following both of them? I'm gonna ask her what's up with that. You know what I'm saying? Because
it could be that too.
You know, it could be that too. I don't know, but I want to make sure, because I've had to break ties with some women that I knew because they kept posting bullshit, and they kept following people that are full of bullshit. You know what I'm saying? We got to break that shit, man. Like, go ahead, Ant.
No, I was just saying, I told you, bring her on the show, dog, so we can eliminate the bullshit. Like,
yeah, we're going to bring her on.
Bring her on so she can ask these questions on air.
Yeah.
So that way we don't have to speculate. We can, bring that shit up.
It's just that I was researching something else. I was just looking to see how many followers these people had. And on both of them pages, she happened to be followed. It's like, damn, bro, what we doing? But, you know, I don't know.
That's why she sent me all those requests, and I be declining them because I still think she straddles the fence. And that's just what I think.
And unfortunately for a lot of y'all ladies out there, y'all straddle the fence, and you can't serve two masters. You either with that bullshit and them fuck assholes over there, or you with real people over here that are trying to build and forward the culture and build the community. You can't do both. You know, and a lot of y'all like to try to do that sucker shit. And when you get called out, oh, he attacking me. Oh, he don't like me. No, you just full of shit. And I'm telling you, I'm just letting you know that publicly, because the problem with a lot of y'all, not just women, by the way, even some of these little musty ass niggas out here, the problem with a lot of y'all, you got a whole bunch of yes men behind you. Nobody ever checks you and tells you to shut the fuck up, you know. And when you start babbling and you can't stop flapping your dick suckers out here, somebody needs to shut you up, because you're harming the community whether you realize it or not. And speaking of harming the community, I hope I get to all this shit, because this is some good shit I got on here tonight. But this video in particular, it's two videos in particular tonight that really bothered me, and this is one of them. Boy, this is another one. Needs to be in jail somewhere just for putting this type of shit out there. And if I knew who she was, I would call DCS on her ass for this fuck shit she posted. Listen to this bullshit.
I used to make a few videos about getting my boys a vasectomy or getting them clipped, because if we have normalized to the point of women and young teenage girls can start getting birth control at around age 11, 12, 13 years old for any other multitude of reasons, but one of the major reasons is because a lot of these mothers don't be wanting no teenage daughters. I got ate up for that shit, and I still stand behind what the fuck I be saying. Boys should actually be vasectomized, bitch. Why are we so against vasectomies? Why are we so fucking against vasectomies? And why are we always so quick to defend and coddle the fuck out of men when it comes down to the topic of vasectomies? Because the main number thing that everybody like to say about vasectomies is about how they're not reversible. And my thing is, why the fuck do y'all want it to be reversible so bad? Are we not at a very overpopulated ass country any fucking way? Like, am I missing something? What is the obsession with wanting men to continuously procreate babies all around our fucking country? What is the purpose of wanting men to have so much access to nuts just to continuously create single mothers, just to continuously create more women and children that they love to fucking beat and kill? What it is, bitch, conceiving a child starts with a man. It starts with a man. Like, I get so tired of the conversations of always wanting to blame women for bringing unwanted babies here, but it literally starts with the fucking man. And then y'all always coddle them. Y'all be so quick to be on the fucking defense of not holding them accountable. Well, I mean, she decided she wanted to keep it. She wouldn't have the decision if his ass did not fucking irresponsibly nut in her. It starts with the man. And I feel like we need to start having an uprise and having vasectomies with teenage boys.
Yeah. I told you, it's worse than you thought. I don't give a fuck what nobody say. It's worse than you thought. If I knew where this little hood monkey lived, nigga, I would definitely send DCS to her place tomorrow. You know, you don't deserve children if you out here talking like that. What the fuck is wrong with you? You understand? I mean, and she just absolves women of any accountability for anything. The same women that always run around talk about my body, my choice. She absolves them of any accountability for anything. Well, they wouldn't have to worry about the unwanted pregnancies if we just vasectomize these teenage boys. I'm thinking about vasectomizing my boys. Y'all need to get out here. I'm going to stand on it. So much confidence in ignorance is what got us here. And you should see the comment section. I'm going to do a whole video on that video right there. You should see the comment section. There are hundreds of women in the comments agreeing with her. Again, I told y'all do not realize how bad it really is. You understand what I'm saying? I'm willing to bet. I don't think either one of y'all saw that video. But like, yo, this is what's out here. Promoting vasectomizing teenage boys. And why y'all so worried about it being reversible? What? And she goes on further and further in the video talking about you ain't gotta have kids, it's overpopulated, the economy. You know, we don't need no more kids. You can go get a pet. With coon ass niggas like that, who needs white supremacists? Bruh, I was flummoxed. You know what I'm saying? I gotta use a fancy word. I was flummoxed. I could not believe that.
I hadn't heard that in years, but it damn sure fits.
I could not believe that there are people this hateful and ignorant out here. We come on this show and people accuse us of hating women all the time, even though we've never said anything that denotes hatred of women. We criticize certain behaviors, we keep it pushing, and we always talk about solutions. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, hey, men have stuff to work on. Women have stuff to work on. You know what I'm saying? And we talk about that and we do it in a mature adult way. And people who have the minds of children, they get upset about that. They get triggered about it. And they say, oh, you hate the women. We ain't never said no bullshit like that. And no man could come out and say some bullshit like that without there being an uproar. Nobody even talks about this video. People act like they don't see it there, except for all the women in the comments agreeing with the shit. But we're misogynists. Bruh, it would be funny if it weren't so sad and scary. This woman has children out here talking this bullshit. You understand? Y'all go ahead and cook on that for a minute, man. That one took me out. What y'all got? And I got another one too. Go ahead.
Yeah, like I say, it goes back to who are the ones that's out here complaining. Does that look like a woman that is top-notch choice? Also,
look how fraud.
Whoever squeezed in her, I would think really was some late night action, or might have been an orgy ran and somebody squeezed on purpose and ran away from their responsibilities. Those would be my two options of what I see going on with her situation. Because there is nothing that you could tell me that made her look appealing and in a visual way. And then when she speaks, she looks exactly like how she looks.
Ain't that much liquor in the world. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and one thing that I always tell fellas, and I will give fellas and hold them accountable for this.
Yeah.
Is you gotta vet who you are procreating with thoroughly.
Yeah.
Because what happens is y'all don't realize there's a lot of women out here that are deceiving y'all. Mm-hmm. And they're sitting back and doing what is necessary to procreate with you just so they could have their children. Because to me, this looked like a woman that really don't like men at all.
Right.
And the only way a lot of these women can get children is through men, you know, especially if they like your certain features about you or stuff like that, or they might like your pockets so they can financially put you on an 18-year plan and receive financial benefits from it. But for the most part, there's a lot of women that really don't like men, but want the benefits of children from them. And once they get the benefits of children, then they can sit back and thrash and throw men under the bus all they want because they got what they really wanted in the first place. So you guys got to be very careful about the women that you guys procreate with. So I will hold you accountable for that. But when it comes to, and shout out to this girl, because I don't remember her name, and I wish I did take her name now. She had a video, and I saw the video today, and I'm not sure if I sent it into the group, but she said she was getting on women like, yo, y'all sitting here complaining about doing chores and things like that for your man and your husband. Yo, you women don't understand. You was here to procreate. That was your purpose as a woman, is to procreate. And there was other women that were co-signing what she's saying. Like, yo, our purpose as women is to be a helpmate to our mate and procreate.
The whole reason you're here.
Build civilization. That is your purpose. I don't care how outside of it you look. That is your purpose as a woman. Now, it's not your only purpose, but that is one of your main purposes for men and women to procreate. If we didn't procreate, civilization would have died out a long time ago, and we wouldn't be here today talking on this podcast and y'all listening to us and we listening to y'all. That's just what it is. Society would have died out a long time ago. So you got to understand that you got to understand your powers. As men, we have powers to give to women. As women, y'all have powers to give to men. There is no way you can not understand that dynamic. The feminine and masculine energy is yin and yang. Yes, we both have both, but there's a reason why my masculine energy is more powerful and my feminine energy is on a minute level. And there's a reason why as women, y'all feminine is more powerful and your masculine is on a minute level. There's a balance to it. Y'all got to understand the natural laws and physics behind that. So when you go outside of that balance, you become what? Imbalanced. And that's what we're having, a lot of imbalanced people that's having these discussions. And I'm going to land my plane on this. And I think it's a very good point that Bobby makes. And I never looked at it until he said it. But remember, there's a lot of women out here that aren't operating with a full mindset. Not all working upstairs, because we talk about the mental issues of men, but we don't talk about the mental issues of women. A lot of these women are unstable. Another good friend said to me, I think Bobby said the same thing too, but I heard another friend of mine said that we had portable classes for a reason. We had separations of the intellectual spaces. We don't have that. There is no way you can program that into an algorithm to separate the people that don't get it versus the people that get it. Everybody's thrown into one big pile, and we're having this collaborative conversation with people that ain't even on the level that you're on. And I'll land my plane on that.
All facts. Hey, make sure everybody, y'all hit the likes. You know what I'm saying? Subscribe if you're not subscribed, and share this video, man. We spitting this fire out here. Help us get this message to the masses. Let's get it. Bobby Drake, what you got?
Man, just listening to her literally tired me out. Like I got eye strain like you wouldn't believe right now. I feel like I've been looking at a computer screen for 12 hours today. In one go. That's a lot of hurt and pain. And I do have, and I'm not a complete villain. I am a villain. I'm not a complete villain. I have some compassion for what she's obviously and clearly been through. I can imagine she's got the shit end of the stick for quite some time in her life, and I feel empathy for that. I really do. But with that being said, just because I feel empathy for you doesn't absolve you of the fact that you are indeed a monster, man.
Facts.
You are a demon. You are an evil, wicked, vile creature. And I'm not going to necessarily wish for the worst things in life to happen to you. But if they do, I'm damn sure not going to shed a tear or going to have to blink anything back. I'm really not. It is a wicked thing to say the things that she did, literally inciting violence against children.
Yeah.
Let's not even go into male or female. There is absolutely no difference between what she's calling for and calling for the circumcision of girls.
Right.
I have a friend who's a nurse, and she told me she called me, and she was literally broken down like she was broken.
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking sobbing, weeping. It was god awful.
Yeah.
She's a nurse at a large hospital over in California. And she shared with me, and she was talking to me for about hours about this. And I was right that I couldn't hang up the phone if I wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
About this girl who I think she's from, I don't want to say Somalia, that doesn't sound right, but it's from some country in Africa. That's where her family's from. But living over here. And what happened was she came in because she passed out in school. She blacked out in school, and she was bleeding some dark blood. Come to find out that she had like a whole bunch of hardened stones or what have you, kidney type stones, whatever.
Mm.
And it's because her family was practicing not just female circumcision. I've never heard of this. This was next level. I looked it up, and apparently this happens as well too. We only hear about female circumcision over here on occasion.
Yeah.
Her vagina was literally stitched up to prevent any sexual intercourse whatsoever. And according to the custom, the stitches on her vagina were supposed to be undone on her wedding night so her husband could get the first crack at her, basically. And because of that, and this was a young child she's becoming a young woman now. She's going to puberty and everything. She's had her menses and discharge and everything. And because the discharge was not unable to pass out the way it was supposed to, it was hardening and becoming stones and rocks inside of her.
Damn.
And so when I heard the story,
sounds horrible. Shit.
I was devastated for her.
Mm-hmm.
I wish I could hop on a plane, fly over there, and take my candy sweet time with whoever her parents were.
Yeah, facts.
I'm not even rolling my sleeves. I'm taking off my shirt. I got some throwaway pants, and I'm gonna give me some rubbing alcohol, give me some hand wraps. I'm gonna be here all day, all day, nonstop until I can't lift my hand, my feet, my elbows anymore. I'm going to town on these people.
Yeah,
that's how livid I was about that. That's how I feel about what she's calling for.
Yeah.
You are talking about doing a vasectomy on children because you salty about the shit hand life dealt you. Are you crazy?
Pretty much.
I know you're crazy because you said it out loud, but to even think that, you're crazy.
She should be institutionalized, bro. It's not even.
And to have children, on God, this is an unjust planet we're living on. If that doesn't get exposed and she doesn't go ahead and get her children removed from her, no child is safe no male child especially is safe within her care.
Facts.
This is not a harmless, innocent action.
Nah.
When you see this, you're supposed to treat this person like it's a red alert. They say if you see something, say something. Anyone who sees and hears this and knows who this woman is, they don't call up CPS and say something.
Mm-hmm.
You are by default, you are a vile, evil, wicked person.
Facts.
Because you should, when you hear this, every hair on your body should be standing at attention. You should be sick to your stomach that you encounter this person, but you should be thanking God that you have an opportunity to get this person institutionalized or penalized or whatever the case may be.
Right.
Someone like that does not deserve to come into arm's length of children, let alone have them and raise them. Mm-hmm. And I can only shudder to think about how those boys are being raised, because that's the scary part now. I don't know we don't know what she's done with those children.
I agree.
But we also don't know how they're being raised. And I just want to add, because we got to sometimes take people out of the question, I would ask any woman out there, you heard this woman, you heard how she thinks, how she processes, how she reasons. Ask yourself, would you want your daughters to encounter or date or, God forbid, marry or have children with boys who are raised under a woman like that?
Facts.
Let's put it that way.
That's real.
Would you be comfortable with your daughters dating and marrying a man, a man like that? Would you feel comfortable about your grandchildren being raised by a man who had to sit under that tutelage?
Mm-hmm.
I'll leave it there.
She's out here actively promoting abuse.
That's violence.
It's violence.
That is violence against children. But again, like I said before, when you look at her again, exactly like Ann pointed out, what kind of outcomes has she actually had in life?
Mm-hmm.
And how has that lended itself to her thinking and how she reasons and how she processes?
Yeah, we got too many sick people running around, man. Go ahead, Ann. What's up?
No, I was gonna say that when you look at the situation in itself, she's not, and this is so scary. The scariest part about this whole thing is she is not even taking the time to educate her young boys about healthy sex if they engage in it, right? Because she says teenagers. So at teenage years, you should be having that discussion. She's not even having that. She's saying, let me get you this procedure and everything is good. You got AIDS, STDs. You are having an exchange of sexual energy. And people don't understand that sexual energy is just as bad as diseases.
It is.
You know what I'm saying? Because if you're getting sexual energy from a demon, nigga, you gonna be a demon too. So you gotta be very careful about how you present your sexual arrangements and intercourses with. So there's so many variations that go deeper than just the having the children that she's not even having this talk. And all of this, you can tell, comes from a traumatic side of her. She has been so hurt so bad from her choices and what she's attracting that she is even bringing it onto her generation, the next generation, carrying out through them by doing these abusive ass procedures and carrying out and executing these things based on her trauma and her hurt. She's not saying, hey, you go out there and make sure you find somebody because I didn't get it right and have these honest conversations. She didn't have that. She's saying, oh, F these dudes, and these dudes are the issues, and my sons are not going to be the issues because I'm going to clip their balls and they ain't got to, and y'all women ain't got to worry about them. Like, wow, that's crazy.
Disgusting, dude. And did you peep the part where she said, hold on, and did you peep the part where she said, all they're going to do is go out here and knock up a bunch of women so they can just beat them and rape them? Did you catch that part?
Oh, I caught that.
Something to that extent. I'm like, yo. So in her mind, they're going out here impregnating these women, you know what I'm saying, to create these children so that they can just, I guess, what's the word? So they can hook them or whatever the case may be, so they can trap them. And then, you know, they can have them so they can beat them and assault them. And it's like, dude, this is how you think?
That's what she's speaking on them. And two things about that real quick. First of all, two things real quick about that. First up, that speaks volumes about you. Because she's no Stephen King, she's no J.K. Rowling, she's no author. She's speaking on the things that she's experienced or the stories that she's heard about.
Right.
Here's the thing. If you are raising your children properly, if you are raising upstanding young men, that shouldn't be an issue.
Right.
Now, unfortunately, if that's the kind of caliber of man that you lay down with and you let bust you wide open, then unfortunately, 50% of his genetic material is in your child. So that foundation is in part there, but that's your fault. He's a piece of garbage. Absolutely. We ain't trying to defend or absolve him of anything. If he's garbage, he's garbage. It is what it is.
If we don't even know that, but go ahead.
But you laid down with garbage.
Yeah.
Furthermore, you had a period of time where I'm not advocating for abortion, But you had a period of time where once you realized, oh God, that's what I got knocked up by. Let me make sure I don't reproduce this. You went on and decided to go ahead and bring that into the next generation.
Yeah. And
what does that say about you?
Agreed. But her whole spiel is to get everything off of her and other women. You heard her say,
and that's the danger.
There wouldn't be no unwanted babies if we could just clip these boys' nuts, and so they can't impregnate no women. There wouldn't be no unwanted pregnancies. And why y'all so worried about unwanted pregnancies anyway? Why y'all so worried about people being able to have children anyway? You can go get a dog. She actually said that. You can go get pets. The economy's bad. Why we trying to create all these people?
Last thing,
I do want to say this real quick, brother.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
I love the fact that Kevin Samuel said something that I think was so dope that a lot of people didn't take for face value, but is very powerful and is very true. Yeah. He said, look, okay, I'll give you that you had a mistake, right? You end up procreating with the wrong dude.
Yeah.
But you went back and did it twice.
Sometimes 3-4 times. Facts. Bobby, real quick, and then we
must
move
not have been toxic.
Real quick, we move on. Go
ahead.
Fellas,
because unlike this heifer, we believe in placing the blame where it lands. Fellas, let's be abundantly clear. A lot of y'all dudes are very cautious, are very wise, are very conscious of who you spend your money on. You're very frugal when it comes to spending money on women. You're very cautious about how much you spend on dates and what a date calls for, what it doesn't call for, and all the things that are necessary and unnecessary. And there's not necessarily anything wrong with that. You should be frugal. You should be mindful and conscious of your spending. That's called being responsible. Yeah. Being cheap is something else, but being conscious about your spending, that's a vital part of adulthood. We need you to be every bit as cautious and mindful, if not more so, about who you are spending your genetic material on, who you are giving your seed to.
Woo!
Let's be abundantly clear. This is a vile, evil, wicked woman.
Yeah.
And any woman that thinks like her or co-signs her sentiment, they're in the same boat. All of them are destined for hell, as they should be, unless they change their ways and change their mindset. Absolutely.
Yeah.
But if you go and are reckless with your DNA, you go ahead and shoot the club up with a broad like this, you get her pregnant, or you're just randomly firing out your semen like it's a super soaker party.
Yeah.
You have a hand in creating this devil, not and only scarring her mind, but also you have damned your children to suffering under that.
Yes. Facts. Well said.
You were able to get away unscathed. Good for you. Congratulations, you got away. You left your children behind. You're garbage for that as well, too.
All facts.
The bare minimum you can do is fight for your children. Say, I made a terrible mistake. I shouldn't have done this. But what's done is done. I can't let my boys and my girls suffer under this heifer. I'm going to fight to get my children back. I'm going to fight for sole custody or the bare minimum split custody.
Realness.
That is your responsibility as a man. That is your obligation. Why? Because you lay down with her. You're both responsible equally.
Facts.
She's responsible. You're responsible. So yes, she had the final say-so on the child getting here, but you threw the interception in the first place, you dumbass.
Bruh. What?
If you didn't throw the pick, there couldn't be a 6.
Facts. Listen, how do women like this keep getting pregnant? That is a question that just boggles the mind.
That's that coochie has no face mentality. That's one of those that traumatized me when I heard that. I first heard that when I was in the 6th grade. I've never forgotten that. I've forgotten so many things since I was 12, 13 years old. So many things. Unfortunately, that has always been permanently scarred right. That has been branded into my brain right there. I couldn't forget that if I wanted to, and I do wish I could.
Yeah.
Coochie has no face. My God. You lay down with anything because it has a hole?
Yeah, that is a
you're a degenerate
way that a lot of us men think. That phrase right there is the most cringy thing I ever hear men say. pussy ain't got no face. When you
I was
say
a
some shit
child who
like
had
that,
no sexual experience whatsoever, and even I knew in my innocent brain, I knew this is very off.
but
I
that
knew
is
something was wrong with that.
I agree. That is how these type of women get pregnant. That concept, pussy ain't got no face, and strangely enough, I've never heard that outside of Miami. That's a Miami goofy nigga thing to say. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, bruh.
I'm glad to hear that, but unfortunately, many people in many places seems to have symbiotically picked up on it. So they ain't saying it, but they live with it, which is worse. I'd rather niggas just say that than they were just BSing and just trying to flex and trying to sound good, as opposed to actually doing it. So
real nigga shit. Bro,
Say-
some of the things that niggas say. Go ahead, real quick.
I lived in
real
New
quick.
York.
We gotta move.
I lived in New York. I lived in Maryland, and I've been here in Miami. And I could say that is a Florida thing because I never heard it nowhere else.
Okay, I've never heard nobody else say that dumb shit.
I never heard it nowhere else.
So we gotta hold it. So the crib gotta hold that L.
Yeah, the crib
gotta hold that L, bro.
Yeah,
That's some shit that bitch ass niggas from Miami say. Not real niggas from Miami, but bitch ass niggas from Miami say that goofy shit.
That's hurtful.
It makes me
That's
cringe.
hurtful.
It is what it is.
I hear from a lot of people from the diaspora, and I'll leave it like that. Probably why I only heard it here in Florida.
I'm just saying. Okay. Well,
we have to unplug Earth. We have to reboot Earth.
Facts.
Shout out to my brother Billy Cass for that one.
This another one, man. I had to talk about this one too, because this one also bothered me, man. Again, you know, we don't realize just how bad the hatred towards men is out here. And I urge you guys, be careful when you're out here dealing with women, because there are some women, they hate you simply for the fact that you are a man. And there are circles. The reason why some of these people, that last woman, there's a reason why she feels so comfortable coming online and saying that bullshit, because she got hundreds and thousands of women supporting her in that thought process. It's not the same landscape out here no more, guys, even as it was 5, 10, 15, 20 years ago. It's not. It's different. Listen to this shit.
This conversation should be to like progress, right? Unless you're ladies that you don't want to fucking deal with men at all, then we should talk about it.
We don't want to deal with black men at all.
I love all men and not black men. Just not black men.
Well, is there any women here who don't want to deal with men, period, or is it just black men, or is it a mixture?
It's just black men, and we actually want non-black men's help in these corrections that you speak of.
So what are the corrections that you're looking for specifically?
Force, because that's the only thing that's gonna work.
But I mean, what are you looking for black men to arrive at? A place of understanding of like, what do you want to see?
Well, we believe that there is no hope for them. That we don't believe in changing their minds. We don't. But I'm trying not to say what I really want to say because you're on stage. But if they could not exist, hey, we wouldn't be mad at them.
I think for me, I want the coddling culture to kind of stop. I think they get validated a little bit too much and they're not held accountable as much as white men, Hispanic men, Asian men. Like, the legal system works in their benefit a little bit more than they think it does. They're seen as the ultimate, like, most oppressed. And I think that coddling culture needs to stop and they need to be held accountable for their actions.
Because we live in white male patriarchy, white men set what's socially acceptable. So with you all setting what's socially acceptable, the degenerate behavior of black male culture needs to be checked, and there needs to be more, because we're no longer looking for accountability from them because they've proven that they will not take accountability. We need the men who set the culture to make them take accountability by exacting some sort of consequence for perpetrating behaviors that are not socially acceptable, because you all create the socially acceptable behavior.
Shut up, bitch! What the hell is even that?
Bruh, we have a problem on our hands, man. Like, yo, I still can't get over the fact that that's a real video. Like, these bed wenches are online in a space talking to a white man, trying to get him to get his other white male friends that run the white male patriarchy, as they say. They don't have a problem with patriarchy as long as it's run by white males. All right. Trying to get his friends, wants him to go get his friends to come and execute us, basically, is what she's saying. Because she's saying that what do you want us to do? Use force, because that's all I understand. And he's like, well, if I can't really say what I want to say, but it would be good if they couldn't exist. If they didn't exist, we wouldn't be mad. And then this creature had the nerve in the second, and it's a group of them, a group of black women. And then this creature in the second part of the video, she says that the social coddling of black men is what she has a problem with, and we are not held accountable enough. Bitch, who is held more accountable than black men for anything? Seriously? This is the type of shit that just makes me, it just runs my blood pressure up, bro. Really? You feel me? Like, this is with coon ass niggas like that around, who needs white supremacists? You understand? When people say, I understand this doesn't apply to all sisters. Shout out to my real sisters that are down, that respect us, that work with us, that we have no issue with. But when people are talking about black women allowing themselves to be used as tools of white supremacy against black men and more broadly against black society, these are the type of women they're talking about. And as far as I'm concerned, those are terroristic threats. I wish I knew where they were too. I'll report their ass tomorrow. You're trying to tell this man to get his white male patriarchal friends and make it so that black men can no longer exist. I don't think people realize the seriousness of this. Why is this video even still up? You understand what? Because if I post, Lord forbid, I post the smallest thing. I posted a video today. They wouldn't put it up because, dude, there's nothing in the video. It says something about copyright issues, so they wouldn't put it up. Fine. I'd rather they don't put it up than they put it up and then they take it down. But I got the music from CapCut. I don't know what the hell they tripping about. But the least little thing, I can't put it up. Oh, it's a problem. It's all this red tape. This woman can come online and talk about racially exterminating a certain group of people and getting help from white males to do so. And nobody says nothing to her. Not just her. It's a group of them. Actively plotting against black men. I'm sitting up here minding my business watching the 49ers game, goddammit. I ain't said nothing to this silly ass heifer. The overwhelming majority of black men don't even acknowledge these women. But for whatever reason, they just got a problem with us. And it's like, bruh, you wake up, it's like she wakes up in the morning thinking about ways to harm black men. And exactly what do you think is going to happen after you harm black men, you goddamn moron? You think white men are going to come and exalt you and choose you over their own women? If something were to happen to black men, you know who's the next group to get exterminated, you goofy asshole? Black women. Because the only people protecting black women are black men. With your dumb ass. Dude, what are people thinking? People just get online and say anything. But that right there in particular, I'm serious. That's a terroristic threat. And they need to lock her ass up somewhere. I wish I knew where these people were. I really do. I'll be snitching so hard on their goofy ass. I'll be snitching on their ass publicly. Go ahead, man. Y'all talk about that real quick. That one, my head exploded when I saw that video too.
Yeah.
Fighting against black men. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh gosh, I don't know. My head hurts from just thinking about this stuff, man. Like, you know, when you hear like I be around a lot of foundational Black sisters, like FBA sisters, and I never heard FBA sisters talk like this.
Never.
And it goes back to when we had Dr. L on here, and he was asking me about when I made a statement about there's a lot of degenerate behavior that came to America from the diaspora, the Caribbean.
Correct.
And I've told people that I can speak on it because I went to school in Jamaica. I lived in Jamaica. So my family's from there. I've seen police officers, grown-ass men, hollering at 14, 15-year-olds because some of those, you can graduate high school at 15. And they're preying on these young girls. Like, it's so crazy how that culture is normalized over there. Like, it's crazy. Even some of the mothers co-sign it because some of those, it's like financial struggles across the whole country, that when you have an officer or somebody like a doctor or something like that on the island who make money, it's kind of like what R. Kelly was saying, you know, and you got to give R. Kelly credit for at least putting it out in public. But I just seen he made they made a flyer out of what he said. He said, hey, you know, if y'all gonna demonize me, y'all also got to look at the parents that sold their kids to me too. You know what I'm saying?
Agreed.
And it's a lot of parents that do that in the islands. They'll trade off their young child because that person knows it's wrong, but he got money to pay the rent. He got money to do all of that. So it's kind of like you're being a pimp to your own child in the islands for what you claim is survival. And that mentality comes over wherever you are. You know, Cardi B always talks. Cardi B said something, and it's so funny she said it, right? She said, she had a quote that says, after all of this shit goes on and all of this thing back is going back in her face, all the backlash that she's getting from Stephon Diggs and her breakup with her husband Offset. And then, so the latest that came out with Stephon Diggs, she wrote a post that says, the ghetto always finds me. Newsflash. The ghetto never leaves you. Wherever you go, the ghetto is in you. That's what people don't understand. The ghetto isn't an environment. It's your mentality, how you act. So wherever you go, you take the ghetto. There's people that are so brainwashed in the ghetto mentality that they could go into the suburbs and they still act ignorant and ghetto. It's where you are. You carry the ghetto-ness with you. So it's not that it finds you. You are the ghetto. So wherever you go, it's going to seem like the ghetto because that's where your mindset is. So I hear all of these things go on, and I'm like, in my head, it's just crazy to me that people don't understand the sources of all of this comes from. You got to be real in tune to know that this is what it is, and you got to stay away from it. And this is what you guys got to be very keen and pay attention to details, because a lot of these women will tell you exactly who they are. You remember when they tell women always say that niggas talk themselves out of pussy?
Yeah.
For a long time, women used to talk themselves out of dick with me. I ain't gonna lie to you. When I got on my mindset, a lot of women used to talk the dick out of me.
Yep.
Like I would walk away like, nah, I'm good on this. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta have that mentality, man. And I land my plane on that.
Facts. All right, Bobby Drake, what you think about this call, man?
An oldie, but whatever the opposite is of Goldie is. I remember when this dropped. So that came out back during the whole quarantine pandemic thing, when right around the same time Clubhouse happened to take off.
Oh wow, it's that old? I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's that old. Yeah.
Wow.
And
it's just surfacing for a lot of us. Go ahead.
Yeah, I took a little minute to hop onto Clubhouse, but eventually I went along with it. I wasn't in that particular room when that went down, but I was hearing about it the day after it dropped. And it was like wildfire on YouTube. People were playing the clips and everything about that.
Yeah.
it's important to acknowledge that we have to properly understand where the enemy lies. My dude Quentin said a while ago a statement that I was reluctant to accept as truth, and I did with it like I do with a lot of things that I hear that I don't agree with, at least initially. When I hear something I'm on the fence about, or when I hear something that sounds like sheer BS, depending on who it comes from, I don't do this to everybody because I don't have enough time in the day to go ahead and just stack up everyone's quotables, and
Yeah.
I get time for that. I don't want time for that. But when it's people that I know people who are intelligent and have a reputation for talking sense, if I hear something that I don't agree with, what I'll do is I will take it, I will sit it there in a little stack, and I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to discard it, but I'm just going to let it sit in the sun. I'm just going to watch it through what it does, and I'm going to let the ultimate bullshit detector work its magic. Time. 3 things cannot be long hid: the sun, the moon, and the truth. If what this person has said that I don't like, I'm not comfortable with it, I don't agree with it, but if it does bear fruit and I have enough evidence by my standards to go ahead and give it the thumbs up, I'll go ahead and add it to the repertoire. If not, I'll discard it or whatever. I've unfortunately found out that challenging myself in that way, I've unfortunately, bless you,
Thank you.
I've acknowledged a lot more things than I'd like to admit are factual than not. He said, we're at the point now where unfortunately all women are white women now.
Okay.
And he said that, and I knew exactly what he was talking about. I'm like, I don't want to accept that. I don't want to co-sign that. But I sat there, and unfortunately, I didn't go hunting for anything, but I just kept living. Like the old folks, they just keep living. I kept living, and unfortunately, I kept seeing a number of situations where I'm like, he didn't say that. Damn it, he said that. Please don't. And unfortunately, it's not true for the majority, but for a lot of women, we have to recognize, fellas, that a lot of women have indeed cast their lots with the dominant society's women. They share those sentiments. Now, with that being said, what Ant said is also important. While you definitely have some foundational Black American sisters that have their share of misandristic sentiments, there's a certain level that even they're not going to cross, or even if they think it, they're not going to say it out loud.
No, they ain't saying no goofy shit like that.
And that is reserved for a lot of those sisters who come from the diaspora. Because that is their culture to a large extent. We're talking about people, this is on the books, we're talking about people who did play an active role in the trading of their kinsmen for slavery. We're talking about people who routinely engage in tribalism and intercultural beefs with one another. And we're not talking about recent developments, because that kind of thing has been present here on these shores over the last several decades. Before that, there was a lot of unity that was in place. It was the fingers of the fist all combined. This whole thing where we got people spraying and praying each other down and everything, that is a recent phenomenon. That is not the culture of foundational Black Americans on the soil. It's more reminiscent of what takes place overseas, if we're being honest.
Yeah, that's true.
So we have to bear that in mind also, and that's another benefit of getting rid of this whole flat blackness that's been going on, and the delineation movement, and why it's so important. We, for better and for worse, we need to be able to call hands.
Yeah.
We need to be able to roll call and recognize, well, who's from where, what's from what's coming from where, good and bad. You need to be able to do that, because otherwise it just looks like, well, it's all Black women.
It does. True.
And it's important to understand and recognize that there are variances in where certain things come from. Because the dominant society, the white supremacists, they do that. Our elder Neely Fuller Jr. talked about that, how the dominant society, the white supremacists, they study everything. They'll sit there and they'll study the sand, and you walk up and they're like, what are you doing? Well, I'm studying the sand. Okay, why? Well, it's here. I'm here too. I want to know how it interacts with me in my environment. Okay, good luck, buddy. And they walk off. But meanwhile, that white supremacist is going to go ahead. They're going to figure out 19 different ways to use that sand to their benefit. While you over there just lollygagging like, look at this weirdo talking about sand. They study everything and find a way to figure out how they can master it, dominate it, and put it to use in their system.
They do.
It's important that we can be able to get down on a micro level who is who, where are they from, what are they benefiting, what are they taking away, all the ins and outs, the X's and O's. It's important to do that. But when it comes to people like this, we need to be aware that they are out here and move accordingly, because we understand that all skin folk are not kinfolk. And I'm telling you right there, if I were to catch, I don't know who they are, but if I were to catch any of those sisters, that I'm using that term very loosely, out in the wild, I'm treating them with even more caution than I am Big Bubba over there with the Klan hoodie and the Confederate flag tattooed on here, bumping Richard Spencer in his F-150.
Right.
I'm treating her with way more caution than I am with dude. Handle dude. I need to make sure I don't get caught slipping because you look like me and you're able to get in spaces that I wouldn't anticipate Big Dirk over here to be at.
There it is. And that's the problem. That's my main issue with this. You know, these women are in blackface, and these women, and people don't understand this, man. Like when I hear women get out here railing against men and just shitting on men, you know what I'm saying? First of all, I always dial back to what they say about us, because they're like, hey, you guys are misogynist. As misogynist as some men may be, some men are misogynist, you know, but number one, they like to use that as a universal catch-all term to berate men that they don't agree with on issues. If you disagree with me, you're a misogynist. If you call me out on my bullshit, you're a misogynist, or you're sexist, or whatever the case may be.
Sign language.
Exactly, it's sign language. And so a lot of the time, the word loses, you know, any power that it actually has, and you can't take them seriously half the time when they call someone a misogynist, even though there are actual misogynists out there. Okay, I'll give you some credit for that, but you can't call everybody that, one. And two, as misogynist as some of these people are, and as trash as somebody like a Myron Gaines or Andrew Tate, or some of these, Andrew Schultz is another one, these jackasses out here, whatever, that just be talking and saying all kind of outrageous, ridiculous shit and actually do hate women. I've never heard any of them talk about getting hysterectomies for their daughters so they can't reproduce. I've never heard any of them try to plot, well, we take the white guys out. Andrew Tate, he's half black, so we'll count him. We'll just say him and, you know, somebody else like Myron Gaines, who clearly hates women as well. Okay. I've never, as outrageous as some of the things that those guys say are, I've never heard any one of them actively trying to plot with people from the dominant society to exterminate black women. I've never heard that. You understand what I'm saying? I've never heard anything close to it. And that gets back into what I'm saying. These are terroristic threats, but because they're being made by women, nobody's taking the shit seriously. You understand what I'm saying? You think a man could come online and say some shit about, oh, he's thinking about taking his teenage daughter to go get a hysterectomy, and other men should do it too, you know, and he making a whole goddamn video about how this is a good idea because it will prevent all these unwanted pregnancies. What do you think they do to his ass, regardless of his race?
SWAT team outside the crib, whole face tattooed in the red dots.
As they should, because lunatics like this should be removed from society with normal functioning people. You understand what I'm saying? But because they're women, they're not threatening. So it's not that big of a deal. You know, we're not going to make a big deal about it. We're not going to, she's just, even women that I know, I brought this to their attention. These are the type of things that are being said. It's not no big deal. I'll believe it when she does it. What? Women that I know and have a great deal of respect for, I brought that to them. You know, she just putting rage bait out there. If it is fucking rage bait,
but
it's harmful.
Leave all women though.
But dude, they always got a goddamn excuse.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, they always got a damn excuse. And so my message to the guys out there, man, fellas, there is a silent war being waged against us that we don't know about. I've witnessed it directly, indirectly. I've seen it. And so you need to be extra, ultra careful when you're dealing with women, because a lot of them, you know, they have been raised to detest you. They don't even know any better, some of them. I'm not giving them a pass. Fuck that. You know, you still a grown up and you should have been able to go and educate yourself better. But some of them, they were raised, taught this toxicity, you know, and they don't even realize how fucked up they are. You know, you haven't done anything and they're just banging on you, just shitting on you. They talk down on you in their chats all day. And then come out when some shit goes down. Well, why the men ain't protecting us? Did you hear the shit that was said on this show today? And you wonder why men ain't protecting your dumb ass? And look, I'm all for protecting women, but I've gotten different with the way that I move. Back in the day, there was a woman online complaining the other day. She got on a subway or something, and none of the guys gave up their seats. I'm sorry. If I was sitting on this up 10 years ago, maybe 15 years ago, I get on the subway, hey, you know, and a woman gets on there, you know what, I'll get up, hey, you know, take my seat or whatever. Today, you got to figure it out. I mean, if it's a pregnant woman or an elderly woman, okay, cool. Other than that's your business. You strong and independent. So you can stand on them strong, independent ass legs and you can just figure the shit out. You know what I'm saying? I've checked out to an extent also. I'm sorry. It's too much. You know, you're constantly attacked for no reason. Constantly attacked by women, constantly, through pop culture, through social media, through everything. And you're just supposed to come to the rescue at their beck and call. Man, get the fuck out of here. No, it's different. The environment is different right now. And I hope that really a lot of these women who hate men so much, I hope they find the healing that they need so that we can, you know, begin the process of correcting this. Because at the end of the day, I would like for everybody to get together, but I'm not unrealistic like some of these other people out here. They want everybody to just fall in love and all this dumb shit, not realizing there are real issues that need to be worked out beforehand. You know, it must be, they say ignorance is bliss. Bliss must be a wonderful place when you think you can just wish shit and it's going to happen. Nah, bitch, you got to do the work. You know what I'm saying? So that's my plea to everybody. Can we get out here and start doing the work? It begins with you. You know what I'm saying? Because we have major issues out here that need to be corrected and nobody's talking about them. We're going to need a part 2 for this show because, man, there's some other stuff that I want to talk about that I couldn't even get to tonight. But goddamn, it's a lot. There is a lot of misandrous behavior out here in these internet and societal streets, and it needs to change because it ain't helping nobody. All right, let's get it. One more again for the crown check.
This is the crown check segment where we honor our queens. Respect.
Shout out to the queen. We doing for the crown check. This is our good sister Charlotte E. Ray, and Charlotte E. Ray was an African-American lawyer, first Black American female lawyer in the United States. All right. She graduated from Howard in 1872. She was also the first female admitted to the District of Columbia Bar, the first woman admitted to practice before the Supreme Court of the District of Columbia. Her admission was used as a precedent by women in other states who sought admission to the bar. This sister opened her own law office in Washington, D.C., and advertising in a newspaper run by Frederick Douglass. So she knew the homie Frederick Douglass, and she practiced law for only a few years because prejudice against African Americans and women made her business unsustainable, unfortunately. So, you know, she eventually moved to New York. She was involved in the women's suffrage movement as well. And she joined the National Association of Colored Women. This is a very, very accomplished sister, and I want to see more sisters like this. Shout out to our sister Charlotte E. Ray. That's our crown check for today. All right, this is important, man. Representation in the law, representation in the legal system. This is the first woman to do this. Be an African American lawyer. And, the fact that she went to a HBCU, she was also the first female admitted to the District of Columbia bar. Those are big girl accomplishments. You know what I'm saying? Those are grown woman accomplishments. Charlotte E. Ray was a force to be reckoned with. We shout out to her. We salute her in our crown check. All right, fellas, what y'all got?
Oh, shout out to her. That's super dope. We need more lawyers that's unapologetic.
Yes.
Knowing that she knew Frederick Douglass let me know that she was more on an unapologetic mindset.
Especially-
Sisters and yes, brothers and sisters out here doing phenomenal work. The problem is we have gotten away from our unapologetic mindset. And like I tell people before, there's no way our ancestors should be building more than us with under a more racist system of Jim Crow era and less resources than us. It just doesn't make any sense. And part of that was a code of conduct and an unapologetic way of moving. And we need to get back to that. So, 2026, if you weren't on that in 2025, try to make 2026 a more effort to be very unapologetic and get tangible things done for your people. And that's all I got.
There you go, Bobby. Take us home real quick, Pippin. What you got?
Absolutely. Big up to our sister Charlotte for definitely representing the brand, the people, the soil, holding it down early. And hopefully starting, or I can't say starting, but hopefully she'll be an inspiration to those to come as they go into or consider going to the legal realm. We definitely need to have more solid on-code brothers and sisters pursuing law. We need to have some solid ones out there. Johnny Cochran started out great. Unfortunately, he was taken from us too soon. That one definitely hurts. That was a huge, huge loss that we suffered. A significant one. He was not just in the position, but he was also leveraging his position to go ahead and really set us up for the future to come with a whole cadre of solid Black lawyers and attorneys to go out there and really represent us as we need to in the law, because there's a lot of things that we need to get addressed legally. And we need those of us in place who aren't just looking to go ahead and advance their own personal bag, but they're looking to advance the people as a collective. So we need some solid folks to get in that arena and really do that on our behalf. She started. We need others to pick up the mantle that she laid down.
Agreed.
But big ups to her. Ladies and gentlemen, it is what it is. The reality of the situation is that we are in an all-out gender war, unfortunately, and misandry is at an apex right now. It is at an all-time high.
It is.
It deserves to be acknowledged. It deserves to be respected, and it deserves to be combated. You need to understand that when you see these things happening, we need to start internalizing them regardless of gender. The same way how we recognize that misogyny is not a good thing, it's a bad thing, it's something that should be spoken out against. We need to have that same energy for misandry. This is not a tit for tat situation where some men was misogynist, so that means it's okay to be misandrous. No.
That's just how
Shut
stupid
your goofy clown ass up with that nonsense. It isn't okay on any end of the spectrum. And if you were serious about ending this gender war, I see people talk about this all the time. We're not bringing this in 2026. We're not bringing this in 2027. You're still having these conversations? Yes, we're still having these conversations. Because you're so busy trying to go ahead and go tit for tat and not recognize that it's wrong across the board.
Right. Yeah.
If you want it to end, it's challenged to do the whole, well, it ends when I get my lick back. Then it never stops.
Ridiculous.
At some point, you need to grow the hell up
Mm-hmm.
and recognize that if you keep on going at it, all you're doing is creating avenues for our real enemies to go ahead and feast on us.
Mm-hmm.
Because like you pointed out before, Major, those women that were calling for the destruction of black men at the hands of white supremacists, please understand the way that this has always worked out since the beginning of warfare.
Mm-hmm.
Once the protector class, hint, hint, the men are neutralized,
it's a wrap.
It's not a, well, okay, we took out the men, so you ladies and the children are free to go. Just go ahead. This all
Right.
That is a fairy tale that Stephen King couldn't conjure up. No. What happens is once the men are out the picture, then the women get the same treatment, if not worse.
They're so stupid, it's fascinating.
Pillage and plunder is a thing. It's been that.
Yeah.
And the children aren't immune either. So once you've given the green light to go ahead and decimate your men, you may as well just go ahead and bend over and get over with, bend your children over and get over with as well too, because they're getting it next.
Come on, man. Come on.
We will either be unified and suffer as spread fingers, or we will come together as a fist and give up that work. But either way, our fates are intricately woven and tied together.
Facts.
There is no black liberation for men that excludes black women.
Or
there is no
vice
liberation for black women that excludes black men. You're either going to fly together or we're going to die together.
There it is.
You pick.
Well said. Well
Your
said.
choice.
All right.
Until next time. Oh, I'm sorry. Forgetting myself in the new year. You see that bell above our heads. Go ahead and click that, man.
Yeah.
Subscribe to all the notifications. If you're just discovering us now, start off this year on a good note. We bring you sound quality content for your mental virtually every single week. 52 weeks more or less, you have to look forward to us. We're going to give you that fire. Get all notifications. You'll get a hit when we're going live. Make sure you follow us on Instagram. Of course, we're on YouTube, Facebook. Join our groups. Connect with us individually as well, too. We will catch you all next week, same time, same place, 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. This elect brother up here is named Major Gage.
Yeah.
This refined gentleman up here is Anthony Malcolm. And I am your boy, the prestigious Bobby Drake. And together we are Manversations 2020.
Niner gang. Yeah.
Manversations. Man up. Manversations. Man up. Manversations. Man up. Manversations.
A place where we inform, build, and inspire.
Manversations. Man up. Manversations. Man up. Manversations. Man up.
A place where we inform.
Manversations.
A place where we inform, build, and inspire.
You gotta eat what you kill. You gotta go out there. You gotta hunt for your meals.
We all have that ability to connect with people, to be that motivational person in somebody's life.
You gotta let people know there's certain lines you don't cross, and that there's gonna be consequences if you do.
Man up.
If you are an adult and you are in a relationship, that person's emotions are not your responsibility.
Man up. Manversations. Man up. Manversations. Man up. Manversations.
A place where we inform, build, and inspire.
The devil, during slavery, destroyed the masculinity or manhood of the so-called Negro. No man. No man. Right now you got to be trained all over again to be a man.
When someone is obligated to do something, it is binding upon them to do it. And failure to do it causes reaction.
Man up.
Position make you rich? I don't have that type of richness. My richness is life forever.
If black people knew their glorious past, if black people knew their glorious past, if black people knew their glorious past, then they would be more inclined to respect themselves.
I'm not saying I'm going to rule the world or I'm going to change the world,
but I guarantee that I will spark the brain that will change the world. And that's our job, is to spark somebody else watching us.
A place where we inform, build, and inspire.
Manifestations. Man up. Manifestations. Man up. Manifestations. Man up.
A place where we inform.
Manifestations.
A place where we inform, build, and inspire.
You want to tell me about yourself? Go get your friends. I'll tell you who you are based on who your friends are.
Don't just live and die. That's an ugly existence. Make your life matter, make your life count. Live a life where people can actually mourn you for the things you left behind, not just because you were around and existed.
We need strong black nuclear family.
Yes. Yes.
That's what it is. Mother, father, son, daughter, all in the same house with a focus on the family unit as a whole.
We had Tulsa, Atlanta, New Jersey, Detroit. We had Rosewood. We had Black Wall Streets all over.
The Republicans aren't for us, but the Democrats aren't for us either. And we should have no alliance to any political party. We only have alliance to what is in our own best
A
interest.
place where we inform, build, and inspire.
Manifestations. Man up. Manifestations. Man up. Manifestations. Man up.
A place where we inform.
Manifestations.
A place where we inform, build, and inspire.
At the end of the day, as men in the community, we must stand together and be counted, because people look to us for guidance, leadership, and protection. And if we are not about that business, we are not on our job. Here we have grown-ass man conversations in the spirit of that purpose. Anthony Malcolm, Bobby Drake, Major Gage, we are. This is Manifestations 2020.
Manifestations. Man up. Manifestations.
A place where we inform, build, and inspire.